friends, welcome back. Today's Sunday, March the 4th. I just want to say welcome and welcome to my new subscribers. And I would like to welcome all of my older subscribers back, and I hope you enjoy this little story. If you're new here, please hit the subscribe button down there and give me a thumbs up if you like it. So we're going to pick up where I left off, and that was my wedding to Scott. And I told y'all that I only married him to get out of the house. And I really didn't know him that well, but it didn't matter. My situation at home had gotten so bad that I was desperate to marry the first person who asked me. But anyway, we had the wedding and everything, and it was March the 1st, 1970. It was probably a Saturday. I don't remember. But anyway, we had planned to spend our honeymoon on Fort Walton Beach, Florida. For some reason, I thought, with it being Florida, I thought it was going to be warm there. But when we got down there, it was not warm at all. So anyway, we got to the motel that Saturday night, and that was after we had been taken out to his 1964 Chevy that had been hidden in Pistol Ridge and was all decorated with shaving cream and tin cans and everything. Oh, he was upset. So, of course, the first thing that he did when we got to Fort Walton Beach was wash his car. So, anyway, that night we went to a little diner there to get a hamburger to eat. So, we're sitting there at the table, and Scotty goes, you can tell what kind of people they are. And he was talking about this couple at the table next to us. So I look over there, and they just look like normal people to me. And they had not put the top back on the ketchup bottle. So to him, you could tell what kind of people they are. What does that mean? So I thought, well, that was weird. And like I said, I didn't really know him that well. I had just started dating him, I think, in August. It was right before Hurricane Camille hit. And then we got married March the 1st of the next year. But anyway, so we go, and I wasn't, afraid of what might happen on the honeymoon night. We had parked out at Pistol Ridge enough to where we had made out in the back seat of his old 64 Chevy, so I knew what to expect in that department. So anyway, we spent our first night together and everything. So the next morning we wake up, and Scotty is sitting there on the edge of the bed, and he's holding his pillow in his hand, and he's got the corner of the pillowcase, y'all, and he's doing this with it. He's running it through his eyelid like that. And then he takes the corner of the pillowcase, y'all, and he puts it in his nose. And he does that. Then he takes it and he puts it in his ear. And he's just sitting there, just groveling with this pillowcase in his hand. And then he takes a little corner of the pillowcase and runs it underneath each fingernail. Like that. And he's sitting there playing with it and playing with it. And, I'm a new bride. I just wake up, and, back then, we didn't live with a guy before we married them. It was like Forrest Gump. It should be marriage is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get. So that's what I woke up to on the honeymoon morning, was little Scotty sitting there on the edge of the bed with his pillow doing all this kind of stuff. So I said, okay, do you want to tell me what's going on here? And he said, yeah, this is my faux fi. I said, your what? He said, my faux fi. I said, what are you talking about? And he said, well, when I was a little boy and I learned to count, I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's what I call this. It's my faux fi. So I immediately turned around and walked out onto the balcony of that motel, and I said, oh, dear God in heaven, what have I gotten myself into? I knew I was in trouble, and I knew that I had jumped out of the frying pan into the fire. Well, I think we just spent one night there, and then we came back to Mississippi, and then we had to start making arrangements to move in together. And within a month, every pillowcase in our house looked like this. They had big old holes in the corners of them. Our new linens that we had gotten for our wedding shower now, he had done worn out every one of them, putting it in his nose and the corner of his eye. Oh. So Glenda Merle, sure had her work cut out for her, y'all. So this is getting too long, and I'll continue with another segment later on this week. And y'all just keep on coming back. Bye, guys.